Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about clearing. Clearing is actually the way that I got in through university, and it's actually something that not many people talk about, but there are actually places every year for medical school in clearing. Now, it is extremely competitive, but in this video I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks that are going to set you aside from the crowd. Now, what actually is clearing? Clearing is when all the universities try and fill all of the places for their courses on results day. Obviously, it's quite hard for universities to judge whether or not they're going to fill all of their places based on the offers that they give out. So when people don't get the grades, obviously they don't always get their offers, and people will be able to get a place through clearing. Now, how do they do this? Basically, on results day, if you don't get accepted into any courses, you'll be eligible for clearing, and you can call up the university and ask them if they have any places for medicine. Officially, according to the UCAS website, you can apply to clearing if you're applying after the 30th of June, that's when clearing opens, you didn't receive any offers, or you haven't accepted any, or you didn't want any of the ones that were offered to you, if you didn't meet the specific requirements for your offers, you've paid the multiple choice application fee of £26.50, or you've declined your firm place. You can also make an application through clearing and join a university if you didn't even make any choices that year. Now, clearing is open from July to October. Dates can vary year to year, but it's roughly this time period. And even in medicine, some universities will specifically allocate course places to students just for clearing. I remember when I was at St George's clearing, before we had our MMI interviews, the course leader was telling us that they recognise that students who don't always do well in exams can still make fantastic doctors. So it's quite nice to hear that from the university themselves. Now, you don't actually have to choose courses that you apply to the first time around in the applications in October. Let's say you apply for medicine and biomed. If for whatever reason you change your mind on medicine and you don't want to do it, you could do something else completely. All you have to do is ask the university what courses they have available. If you wanted, you could do photography and you could make the switch over. You could actually do anything you want. Okay, so what do I suggest you do? I suggest that if you don't get your offers for any of your universities and the grades didn't go the way you wanted to, don't worry, because it's not all over. There is still this chance of clearing. And even if you don't get in through clearing, it's still not the end of the world. There's still so many different routes into medicine. You can check out my How to Get into Medicine with Bad Grades video if you want to see the full list of options. If you're not sure that you got the grades that you need, and you're a little bit worried and you think you might have to go in through clearing, this is what I suggest you do. First tip is that you make a little shortlist just before results day. Maybe the night before, a couple of days, just make a short list of universities that you'd consider going to if you don't get into medicine. The reason I suggest this is on the day of clearing, it's going to be manic. Everyone is going to be calling the universities and there's going to be massive queue times. So I'd say go on the university websites and they'll all have their clearing hotline numbers on their websites. So make the short list of the ones that you want to go to, find out the phone numbers for clearing, and make a little short list before clearing actually opens. This is actually what I did for my little brother when he was applying for English literature. We had a whiteboard and we filled it all with different university phone numbers, and we called them all the next day. We were able to get him a place at university. Now, when you're making this shortlist, remember that the universities will still ask for a BMAT or UCAT score. So even though they're in clearing and they're desperate for students to fill their places, if they normally ask for the BMAT and you've only done the UCAT, they won't make an exception for you. They will still only want the BMAT. They will actually lower their cutoff scores for applicants, so you still might be able to get in if your UCAT or BMAT wasn't a high score, but it will still be quite competitive. Okay, so if you're wondering how you're going to find out which universities are in clearing, there is one official way to check, and that is using the ucas.com clearing website. So if you go on UCAS, go into their clearing, you can search for courses in there, and that will tell you which university has which places available. Pretty much every university is going to be in clearing. It's just whether or not they have the course that you want in clearing. Now, medicine is historically very rarely found in clearing, but I was able to get a place there, so it's definitely possible. So what I would suggest you do is you make your shortlist, and then you double check on the day if those universities are actually in clearing, and then you go ahead and give them a call. The second tip I'm going to give you is to wake up really early. The queue times fill up really fast. I remember when I got in through clearing, I actually was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was just ready to go. The queue times are not too bad in the morning, and I was a postgrad, so I already knew my results. So I was able to be one of the first ones through on the phone lines, but definitely going to be advantageous to you to do this as soon as possible, because every place that goes is first come, first serve. So you want to really get ahead of the game if you can. Another tip I'm going to give you is to use multiple phones. When I tell you that the queue times were really long, when I was calling up medical schools, I was like number 100 in the queue. So I would say get as many phones as you can, your mums, your dads, your brothers, whatever, and call them all at the same time, and you'll definitely be on hold. You're not going to go straight through to anyone, especially if it's medicine. If it's another course, you might be able to go straight through. It's actually probably not so bad. I actually got in through clearing for my first degree as well for pharmacology, so that wasn't really bad at all. But for medicine, definitely going to be on the phone for a while. So if you get 3-4 phones, call all the different universities and just have them all on hold at the same time, that's probably your best bet. If you have the luxury of choice and you've got a couple of courses, maybe you're not going to medicine, maybe you're doing something else like biomed, definitely something that you should ask to help you shorten your list down of your possible universities is the accommodation. Don't forget to ask for accommodation. You don't really want to be in a position where you're going to university quite last minute and you haven't sorted out your accommodation. That can be a bit of a nightmare, can be difficult, and especially with the cost of living going up. So definitely ask them on the phone if they still have places in halls, or if they have any recommendations for accommodation that you can use that's quite close to university. I'm going to go on to what are they going to ask you. So let's say you've been on hold for about 20 minutes and you finally get through to someone. What are they going to ask you? They're going to ask you for your name and your contact details, so telephone number or email address in case you get cut off or they need to contact you later. And they're also going to ask you for your UCAT ID, so make sure you have that to hand. You don't want to have waited all that time and not have the information that they need. Next, they're going to ask you for your grades. This is going to be your A-levels and your UCAT or BMAT score, and they're going to ask you what course are you applying to. So thought I'd let you know what they're going to ask so that there's no surprises. You're going to tell them that you're applying for medicine, and if they're happy with all of the information that you've given them and you meet all of their requirements, then they're going to ask you to come in for an MMI interview within the next few days. You're not going to have as much time to prepare for it as if you were going through the application process as normal, but it's okay because you're on a completely level playing field. Everyone else will be in the same position as you, so they won't be as prepared either. I personally only had about two or 3 days from when I applied to when I actually had an interview for my MMI, and I still managed to get in. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Okay, so if you're unfortunate and you're not able to get into medicine through clearing, then you might consider going to do biomed instead. Biomed normally has positions available in clearing, so you could potentially go, if you still want to go to university that year, you could go to biomed and go through the postgraduate or the biomed conversion course option. If you're not sure what that is, you can check out my other video, as I said before, on getting into medicine with bad grades. So don't worry, it's not the end of the world. If you're set on becoming a doctor, if you really want to do medicine, there's still other ways available. It's not the end of the world. I want to stress that because, you know, lots of people get in a little bit later, and in no way does it mean that you're not cut out for it. If you really want to do it, you can. We all mature at different ages, and you know, 18 is very young to be making these kind of decisions anyway, so don't worry about that. There'll still be another way to get in if you still set on it. I'm 26 and I'm going into second year of medicine now, so don't worry about that. You're going to be fine. If you guys got any questions, you can ask me down in the comments below. I'll read them, I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And that's it for this video. If you like the video, please give the video a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. Alright, hopefully this has been helpful, guys. I'll see you later.